All right, you guys, back at you with another video on today. It is the Keeping It Raw podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel whenever we put up an upload. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our installment. All right, guys, we're going to talk about the Colorado Buffs. And pretty much all eyes will be on Colorado in 2023. And that's starting in April, I believe April 22nd, when Coach Prime and his Colorado Buffs will be on a nationally televised ESPN to see what these guys are doing at Colorado. Now, definitely, man, I'm rooting for Colorado to have a great season and to turn things around. I say that they're going to win in anywhere between 7 to maybe 9 games this season. Now, if he does something more than that, then I'm truly seeing something great being birthed in Colorado. But at the same time, you're going to have a lot of naysayers, a lot of people that are not going to believe what Coach Prime is trying to do with Colorado. A lot of people think that it's just nothing but a bunch of hoopla and a bunch of talk and things that are not going to happen and this team is not going to get better. But I'm here to tell you, I've been watching these kids since the moment that he has taken over in Colorado. And I love their work ethic. I love everything. I love the way that Coach Prime talks to the kids. I love the way that he's a no-nonsense type of guy. And he's trying to really change this program. He's really trying to change the trajectory of what people think about Colorado. Because this season, a lot of people are going to have eyes on Colorado to see if Coach Prime can ultimately take this team into bowl eligibility or just make this team better, period. There's a lot of people that's going to be doubting him and don't think that he'll be good in the Power 5. But I'm confident. I've watched Coach Dion as a player, and now I'm watching him as a coach grow. And, man, he was a great player, man. When he played, he was great. He was one of my all-time favorite players in the NFL. And I'm talking about him being a corner and playing receiver, whatever the team asked him to do, whether it was returning a punt or returning a kickoff, he was able to do it. He was just one of those guys that was good with the ball in his hand. So right now, the keys have pretty much been handed off to his kids. You got Shilo, who pretty much is the safety, and he's pretty solid, man. Shilo is a pretty solid player as well. And then his brother, who's going to have all eyes on him because he plays one of the most important spots on the football field, and that's the quarterback. And we're talking about Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders, if you don't know too much about him, you better go check the track record on Shidor Sanders, man. This dude is pretty dead accurate with the football. In his freshman season, I believe Shador, let's see what he did. In his freshman season, he threw for 3,231 yards with 30 touchdown passes and only 8 interceptions. And his completion percentage was 65.9. So that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. And then in his sophomore season at Jackson State, completion percentage was through the roof. Completed 70% of his passes and almost threw for 4,000 yards. Had 3,732 yards passing with 40 touchdown passes. Do you hear me? Let me repeat that again. 40 touchdown passes and only 6 interceptions. So I'm going to be looking at Shedeur Sanders, man, because I think that this kid is very talented. And a lot of people are not really talking about him and not really saying, and I can understand it because you haven't seen him play in Power 5. But I think that this kid is talented to play. No matter where he's going to be at, he's going to be able to get it done. The team is going to move, and they're going to be as good as their leader, and that's going to be Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders has to have a great season in order for the Colorado Buffs to really turn it around. You got to have those linemen blocking for him so that he can get the ball to the receivers like Jimmy Horn and Travis Hunter and the rest of those guys, and being able to have production from the running back spot as well. So it's going to take a team effort to be able to get this team from what they used to be to what you see them at in 2023. I see this team being a team that's going to win at least 7 games or maybe or maybe even 9 at the most. Now, if he wins more games than that, I think it's just going to be a bonus. It's going to be the icing on the cake because I think that he's going to be successful at Colorado. He got those kids buying in, and that's what you need, man. When you're bringing guys in from the transfer portal, when you're bringing guys in and you're recruiting these guys heavy, college football is simply about recruiting. That's why a lot of coaches are in uproar because he's recruiting and he's getting a lot of guys to come. And they're in an uproar because they didn't believe that a lot of these players would go to Colorado. And some of these guys, you know what I'm saying, came from Alabama. Some of these guys came from some of the hottest colleges in the country. And they want to play with Coach Prime. So I'm really seeing something great being built in Colorado. I'm rooting for the Buffs to have a good season. I'm going to be watching them all season long. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on Shedeur Sanders, keeping my eyes on the impact of Travis Hunter. I'm going to be watching Jimmy Horn, the wide receiver. I'm going to be watching Shilo to see what Shilo does because these guys can end up playing possibly what I think Shilo has 2 more years of eligibility. So he could end up playing with them for 2 years and then deciding to make the leap to the NFL. But I really want to see how Shilo is going to be in the Power 5. But Shilo already played in the SEC, so I'm not even worried about Shilo, man. Shiloh's going to be fine, man. He played with South Carolina, and he was in the SEC, so he knows what he's doing out there. And I think that he's going to be an impact player on the team as well. I think Shiloh's going to be nice out there, man. A lot of people don't really talk about Shilo as much, but I think he's pretty solid safety, man. So I can't wait to see this team, man. I can't wait to see what Travis Hunter is going to do because he's going to be playing. He's going to get a chance to play wide receiver and corner. He's going to be playing both for the Buffs. I want to see what the kid Jimmy Horn, because Jimmy Horn has been killing these guys so far at practice. I want to see what this kid brings to the table because he can flat out run, man. This dude is fast. I want to see what Shador is going to do. Can Shador continue to get better? Because to me that seems like the case that Shador has he's just gotten better every season. And now he's going to be in his junior season at Colorado. And I think that Shador will be the reason ultimately why the Buffs have a great season. It always is going to start with the quarterback. You have to have a great quarterback in order to be able to do some good things. And not only having a great quarterback, you got to have a hell of a defensive front seven as well, being able to play well. And those big guys up front, the Hogs, blocking for Shedeur Sanders as well. But I think that Coach Prime, man, he's going to win anywhere between 7 and 9 games. I think the icing on the cake will be winning at least 10 games. But I think that because the Pac-12 is it's some teams in there that's pretty good football teams. You know, you're going to have to go against Caleb Williams. You're going to have to go against Bo Nix. You're going to have to face against Cameron Rising of Utah. So there's a lot of great competition in the Pac-12. Now, I know people they look at Pac-12 as a division that don't really play defense. But I think it's going to be a different case with Colorado because you're talking about a defensive guy and Coach Prime who's going to want to get the best out of his dogs out on the field. So I think that this season for Colorado is going to be really, really good. I can't wait to see this the spring game when these guys finally get out there and show their stuff. And I'm really, really rooting for Shador and Shilo, Travis Hunter, and the rest of the Buffs, man, to really go out there and ball this season and have a great season for the Colorado Buffs because I will be watching all season long because I know that he was in contention last season to be a Heisman type of candidate, Shedeur Sanders. But now that he's in the Power 5, he's going to really, really be able to display the accuracy, the pinpoint accuracy that he has with the football and the smarts that you need to be able to play that quarterback position and to be able to show off his athletic ability, period. Because he didn't run as much. He can run. He's a dual threat quarterback, but he looks to stay more so into the pocket. And he extends plays with his legs as well. So I really want to see what Shador is really going to do because all eyes will be on him because he is the quarterback that will be taking charge of these Colorado Buffs. So I can't wait to see, man. So definitely, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be talking about Colorado all season long because I want to be able to see what Coach Prime is really going to be able to do. And I'm rooting for Coach Prime to win a lot of games this year and turn it around because they were 1-11 last year. So I'm thinking that they're going to win anywhere between 7 and 9 games. Also, guys, leave it in the comment section on how many games do you think Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs will win in 2023. This is TA of Keeping It Raw Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, and I'm out of here.